Good fucking morning, guys. Today we're gonna have a quick look at the crypto market, what I think is happening, and how I'm positioning. Here, let's go straight into it. Here we have the others chart on the 12-hour time frame, and as you can see by the structure and the volumes, I think this is pretty clear accumulation here. In others, we've seen a lot of upside from the April lows, currently around 80% across the whole market in others. So excluding top 10 coins. And right now we have broken out of the BU structure, which is this initial profit taking consolidation area where the supply and demand dynamics are looking the balance, and we tried to break out here, and we finally broke out last week. Now we have this pullback, but for now we have perfectly closed above this range, this box. Like right now it looks like a perfect retest, just a perfect retest of this previous range. If we were to like confirm this with another candle above this, like a 12-hour candle that would close above this one, like comfortably, maybe here, that would look super bullish, like an SFP reversal from this retest, and I would definitely bid more. Right now we got like 8 hours until the close in UTC, so a lot of time to turn this around. But overall this looks really bullish. Structure is intact, higher lows. We just gotta wait for this, and even if we go back into this range, it just means more consolidation, and I mean until of course we break lower here and break structure, but the longer the consolidation takes, the more you go to the upside usually, especially if IWM finally could break out. This would go huge. A quick note from post-production. So yeah, like I said, IWM is really important here for the altcoins, but I think both of them are just waiting for the Fed rate cuts, because the small caps are really sensitive to rate cuts. I mean rates in general. So I think they're just waiting, consolidating here and waiting for what's going to happen with the Fed. Are they going to cut 25 points, 50 points? What are they going to do? What are they going to signal for the rest of the year? So I think there could be a small pullback in time here near these prices. So that's others. Then we're going to go to USDTD. So USDT dominance. Right now, there is something to worry about. This is also like obviously in an accumulation. Even though we eased a bit during April, but we have this inverse head and shoulders building here. And right now I'm really looking at this for, wow, what is this range? 4.37 to 4.45% range to hold, because it also is the 12-hour Gaussian midline. And that's what I'm looking for. If we're gonna go higher, I would love to see a reaction from here, like a good rejection from here, and so we could go down more and hopefully to form a spring here in the 3% region. And if you do not understand why am I looking at USDT dominance chart, it's basically, it signals like what is going on in the markets. The more USDT, the higher the dominance is, the more people are in stable coins, and that's usually big players. So there's clear signs of accumulation here, obviously. But like I said, these are the zones I'm watching. Hopefully a rejection from here. I mean, a rejection from here is fine too, but hopefully a rejection from here if we go there. And then I would definitely take more profit here. And of course, I'm hoping for a real alt season and like of schematic 2, where we would form a spring here. And I think this would truly be like the alt season that everybody's hoping for. But like I say, I'll adapt to the situation. If we break structure here and we start to make higher highs and we break these highs, that's not looking too good. Yeah, so that's others in USDT, and now I'm gonna go quickly over some alts that I'm looking at right now. This is not based on fundamentals. This is based on technical analysis of my own, and this is also not financial advice. First off, we got banana. I don't usually trade these kind of patterns, but this is a pretty obvious one. There's a really obvious cup and handle here, and we got this breaker block slash this mitigation block, breaker block, breaker block, breaker block, order block, mitigation block. Fuck. Yeah, I woke up at 3:30, so I'm a bit drowsy. Yeah, this is what I'm basically eyeing on the lower time frames. This could be a great trade, you know. Maybe to see if you could break structure here or form some other kind of bottom. I'd be glad to long this, because the traditional target for a cup and handle is a pretty sizable move from here. 35% with a really tight risk to reward, so you could even put it here and it's still crazy. But yeah, that's one of the altcoins I'm looking at. Has a lot of strength. This kind of like a V reversal, or of course a U reversal, with this higher volumes building. I really like that. And this is in confluence. You gotta think like, you gotta have these things in confluence. Like I was talking about this others charts. This represents all altcoins. And if we are just retesting this box and we're eventually going higher with a higher low here, you gotta have confluence of, okay, that's like the big chart is doing that. And then I look at this specific altcoin, and it has these things that are in confluence with the bigger charts. That's why I'm looking at this, and that's why I think it looks really bullish. Next one is near. I actually had a bid here, like a blind bid that filled overnight, and there were multiple. Sorry, my dog is here. There was a couple daily fair value gaps here and a big 3-day order block. And I actually had a blind bid here, and it was a crazy fill. Like usually, I've had so many of my bids front ran, but this time I got really lucky. I had a bid at 258, and they got filled at 257. I mean, the bottom was 257. So, but yeah, obviously we could go lower, but I do think this has a strong support, and the LPS is here, so pretty clear invalidation here as well. There's some good targets. Obviously the true range highs, and then you got some more. But I really do like the chart. It's obviously in accumulation. Obviously in accumulation. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here as well. Virtual, this is a bit different. So we had this big impulse here from April, and we've been going downwards since. And the structure has obviously been getting tighter and tighter. So it looks like the bottom is about to get in. I still have this bid here if we were to go this low, but I doubt it will get filled anymore. But if we are going to have a bigger pullback before I could get a fill there, but I'm just gonna keep it open. But yeah, like really similar to here, this structure here. I saw this. We got a bit higher volume here, and we had a 5-way structure. Maybe better to be seen on the 15-minute view. We had a 5-way structure here, and then we got a consolidation. It looks like a expanding flat or running flat. Right now it's running flat because this low is higher than this. We had this ABCD 5-way structure, this kind of like a megaphone or expanding triangle. I guess ABCDE, perfect hits. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a bit like, I don't trade triangles, but they do give me confidence with my research. So we had this, like, it's crazy. We had these perfect hits, ABCDE. Then we had this perfect. That's like, how can you get this perfect on a such small altcoin with a high beta? Perfect retest, and we went lower. Now we have had a quick move up, and if Bitcoin seems to reclaim, and we could reclaim these levels, I could be looking for a long on virtual. Then one more eGold. eGold is again in an accumulation, clearly accumulation structure. We had one of my favorite setups. One of my favorite setups are these triangle-like structures with a clear ABCDE move and an E deviation below. I like, this is one of my favorites. Happens so often, but you gotta, when you look for these, you gotta wait for like end portions of a consolidation. But I had this. I thought we're gonna go higher. This time it failed, and theoretically we could still be in a accumulation phase to form a spring here into this demand, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep this low as a like an invalidation. If we go below this, I think we're gonna go hit this supply. I mean demand. But if not, we're just gonna make a high low and hopefully target the true range highs. Yeah, looks like a pretty good chart to me. Sorry, this is the crypto, the general ticker, so I don't have the volume here. But yes, and the last one is Doge. I bought some Doge, and I mean actually I took some profit here. I nailed pretty well. It was, I took on the downtrend. I think it was here. I took some profits here, and I actually bought some of it back at 20. I had an order at 26 cents, and if this is to be the bottom, that looks pretty good. I bought at 26 cents. The bottom was to 25.9. But what I'm expecting here is we had this clear accumulation range, and we had this SOS here, and now I'm expecting like a BU, the similar as we have here in the other charts. That's way too many tickers. This is the BU stage of our first V break structure here in SOS. We go higher, and then we form this consolidation zone to see if the demand holds, and I think that is my expectation for those for a small while here. I don't know how big the range is gonna be. It could be here, something like this. I think we're gonna get some sideways movement. I don't know for how long. I don't know. I can't predict, but that's what I'm expecting. Some sideways moves until we go higher. And again, I accidentally made it on this crypto ticker, so we don't have the volume here, but you can see the volume really is picking up in the later phases of this accumulation, which is always a good sign. But those are some of the altcoins that I'm looking at. And yeah, like I said, I think overall this still looks good. I think people are just really scared right now. And look at that, we're going a bit higher. Yeah, I think as long as we stay above this box on the 12-hour and the daily, this could be definitely a place that we form a bottom in. And if that is the case, Oh, if that is the case, we are definitely going higher. So hopefully you got some alpha. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully this maybe certain views of yours. Maybe you got a new epiphany of something. Or maybe you think this is bullshit. I don't know. Comment below. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.